My Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel scattered out over the earth. Let me take this moment to say to you, welcome back. And we want to thank you. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. And thank you for your prayers. And we have completed Psalm 38. And now we're going into Psalm 39. And as we go into Psalm 39, we are dealing with the topic on hope. Hope. This will be the whole theme, hope, my brothers and my sisters. And we just want to praise Yahweh, praise Yahweh. There is no better feeling that we as Hebrew Israelite people could have, or can have, than the feeling of hope. The feeling of hope. My brothers and my sisters, we know that in this hope that we're hoping is that full of assurance. Full of assurance. But you know what happened, my brothers and my sisters? It also has patience. We have to be patient in our hope. And so as we look into Psalm 39, we see here that Psalm 39 is a profound exploration of the human condition. And when we talk about the human condition, my brothers and sisters, the first thing comes to me, first thing comes to my mind is that, we as Hebrew Israelite people, we represent a great portion of this exploration, this profound exploration. Because it represents a deep personal confession and plea, like we see, from David here, as he pleaded to Yahweh. Okay? It conveys his struggle. It conveys David's struggle. And as we go through this psalm, verses 1 through 13, to 12, whatever, we're going to see there, my brothers and my sisters, how much this psalm resembles us as far as our struggle with, this struggle here, my brothers and sisters, we talk about our life, human life, we think about our sinfulness. Okay, we think about our understanding of Yahuwah's judgment. Why we are yearning for his divine intervention and his mercy. So in this whole thing, in this whole scheme, as we look at this, we're going to look at, some areas that we will talk about these different areas of, personal reflection, our struggle, with mortality. We're going to look at, prayer for divine intervention. And we're going to look at the fact that sometimes we think we're strong on the inside and sometimes we're strong on the outside. But my brothers and my sisters, there's nothing but frailty. And we're going to see all of that as we look into this psalm. So, before any further ado, let us jump into the psalm. Psalm 39 and verse 1. Here we see that, listen what this psalmist is saying here. This is what he's saying here. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. My brothers and sisters, there's a whole lot said here, right, in this one verse here. In this, first of all, this is something that we need to say to ourselves. Let us put ourselves in the picture right now. Let us put ourselves in the picture. Listen what he said. He said, I said, okay, David, King David, he said, okay, let us put it in there. Murray said, you said, you put your name in this and make it personal. Don't make it abstract, make it personal. Because you see, as we look at this verse right here now, as we look at this verse, my brothers and my sisters, and we look at our lives, we look at the way, we behave, it doesn't take a whole lot to get many of us off, we're going about minding our own business. There come Hasatan with something, throw at us, and sometimes the people that he used to do it are people very, very close to us. Sometimes people that you help. Sometimes people you've done great favor for. Sometimes when no other people gonna do it, and other people say you're making a mistake when you do it, you still do it. Because you're doing it from your heart. Okay? You're not thinking about after effects. You just do it because of the love and passion in your heart to see someone move on, especially in ministry. And before you turn around, the same people that you do things for, they turn around and try to hurt you. I remember, my brothers and sisters, I had so much experience in church ministry. The early years of my church ministry, when I was in church ministry, early years, my brothers and sisters. I can go back and I can tell you about the first church that I started was, I was 19 years old or something in that area. They used to call it the kids' church because, and I mentioned it before to you, not to the extent now, but I mentioned some of it. That some of the people used to say it's a kids' church because most 90%, I would say, 99% of the membership of the church was kids. Okay? Yeah, I was a young man. I'm not married yet or anything like that. The oldest person there was my mom. She was my godmother. We call her my mom, right? And I never forget this. When we started this church, a man, he and his family was a part of the church. And so, I'll never forget, we had a baptism. And the place where we went to baptize was here in Jacksonville. It was on what they call the Moncrief River. And so they have a boat ramp there. Okay? And so this early, it was early Sunday morning, right? We're going to do the baptism. Sun wasn't even up yet. It was pretty, it was coming to light. And we decided we were going to get there before the boats start coming in. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock boats, this place is going to be run with people trying to get in the water to go fishing. But the water is filled with gators, okay? Gators. Florida gators, okay? And so I went in the water, right? And we had two of the brothers, two of the ministers, Then one minister and another man was acting like a deacon, right? And they were in the water with me. But I look down, a couple of feet down, and then I look in the water and I see like a piece of log, I'm saying. But we had the people on up there. The water was pretty calm, There's a mist that was coming, you could have see out of the water and everything like that. And water was pretty calm, and people on the banking side, they were looking. Everybody to look, and I know that I was scared of gators and everything like that. So we were there, and every time I look, like the piece of log is getting closer. I know I wasn't imagining it in my mind. There's 7 people had to baptize. And I think about 5 of those people were young adult. And so when I finished baptizing the last person, and I turned around and look, the people that they're looking, they saw the log too. They know it was not another log. They know it was a gator. And it was getting closer. And so the last person I baptized and I came out, the gator was, a couple of feet. Everybody started laughing. They were laughing. And, and so I was looking at the idea and said, no, I said, I'm not going to go back in any. I'll go to the ocean and whatever. I'm not going to go back into no regular water, to baptize anybody. But I was just saying all this to say, one of the men was standing there. He had come out of the army probably about a year. So he basically ran his family like they're in the service. Right? And so he was very strange. So I came out of the water and, we put on our dry clothing and everything like that, and then, he started talking. I don't remember all of this stuff that they said, but some of the stuff he was saying was not pleasant. And I started thinking to myself, I said, this man's supposed to be a minister, But guess what? He was one of the check signers. Right? We have really good accounting system. And at that time I said, no, I didn't touch church money. I learned early years, to let other people handle the money. And we were getting good offerings too. We were getting good tithes and offerings. And so he was talking, and I kept wondering in my mind, I said, why is he talking like that, Like something was getting on his nerves and so on. But anyway, so I talked to him, I called him during the week, and I was talking to him, and I said, man, look, some of the things that you're saying that doesn't make much sense to me. I said, I know you're older than I am, and so on, but, I don't know why you're acting the way you do. And he'll tell me, say, well, okay, well, you act like, I don't know, because because you have your Bible college training, because even at that age, I graduated from Bible college, But I was probably, by 21, I was graduated from the Bible college. And so he was saying a lot of strange stuff. So one day, he just said, you know what, he decided he's not coming back. And 2 other people that signed the check, he kind of contacted them. I contacted them and told them that he wasn't going to sign any more check. So I said, how do we going to pay for the building that we're renting? We're renting a city recreational center, and every month we have to pay a rent for it. And so, he was just talking. He was just carrying on. And I said to him, I said, sir, me personally, I am taking heed to myself, my ways. That, I don't do anything that violate the principles that the Lord, how he want me to behave and act. So I say, there's some checks to be signed to pay, electric, and then the building and water and things like that. And he said, you're not going to sign. And I say, okay. I said nothing. So one of the people that signed the check was totally with him. The other person was nervous, and he said, "He called me Brother Josh." He said, "Brother Josh, we have all these bills to pay, and if we don't pay them, we're gonna have our credit gonna go bad." I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's not gonna go bad. It's not gonna go bad. I have enough sense to know it's not gonna go bad." So I said, "Okay." I wanted to go to the bank with me. So that week, we find a day, went to the bank. It was, at the time, it was called Atlantic Bank or First Union, but I know it changed from one to the other. No, it changed. I think it changed from Atlantic to First Union. So at the time, it was Atlantic Bank, and we went there and we talked to the people there. So this is what happened, and what can we do? And they said, okay, all you need is go back to your church and have a vote and see who you want to be on the checking, signing and stuff. And we went back, called a meeting. There was a Bible study meeting, and we said, look, we got to have a new check signer. A couple check signers, and said, bam. And then I have to sign a paper, okay? After the meeting, and they show the minutes and everything, and we were able to get everything done. So here, this man had this checkbook with 200 and more checks, in there that they can't use. And I said, and then we took the name off it, so that if they ever try to forge or to go back there, it wouldn't work. But what I was saying about, this verse here, I will take heed to my ways. And the word here, to take heed, is the word shamar. Shamar means, and the word here, shamar, my brother and sister, is shin, mem, and resh. And what it means here, it means to keep a watch, or to keep, or to watch, or to preserve. Okay, to preserve. I will take heed. So Yahuwah made us a watchman. Okay, we're watching over our lives, our ways, the way we behave. We are the one have to do that. The Ruach is keeping us, and Yahuwah is keeping us, but we have to. That's our responsibility. Okay. Shamar, to keep, to watch, or to preserve. The word here, it has the way of being to be circumspect. We take heed to ourselves because Yahuwah made us the keeper. He said he is our keeper, but at the same time, we are in control of what we do with our lives. The way we behave, our conversation, whatever we say, whatever we do, my brothers and my sisters. Ourselves. So we mark ourselves, we look narrowly, and we observe the way we behave. We don't behave in a way that gonna bring disgrace to ourselves, and we don't want to behave in a way that's going to bring disgrace to Yahuwah. People look at us and they say, well, that's the way they behave. They're supposed to be a believer. Are Hebrew Israelite behaving like that? No. It comes from a primitive root to hedge about. To hedge about. Like, you have something, an important plant, and I made this, you've heard me use this illustration before. You have an important plant, right? And so what do? You hedge it around. You put some border, something around it that You're going to keep intruders. You're going to keep people from walking through it. Or you're going to keep animals from going through it, right? And if you don't do it, my brothers and my sisters, you are going to lose every time. Like when we were back in Jamaica for a couple years back and forth, we plant a garden in the back of the yard, and people have goats. Goats jump over fence, they go and bore through fence, and they jump over wall. They do all kind of stuff. They come in here and they destroy everything. You got to keep an edge. So people would put, plants that have thorns, because that thing has stuff will stick them, and it's hurtful when you get stick or some of those wires that cut barbed wires and different like that, So you're guarding, you're protecting, you're attending to whatever, you'll be warding it. You be circumspect. You take heed, my brothers and my sisters. You keep yourself. Proverbs said, keep your hearts, for out of it flow all the issues of life. We got to keep ourselves. And we trust in Yahweh to keep us, right? But at the same time, we have to keep ourselves. We have to be circumspect. We have to keep and take heed. To ourselves. We got to mark, we got to look narrowly. We have to regard, we have to reserve, my brothers and my sisters. Make sure that, we are waiting. To keep is also to lay wait. Right? So we're going to take heed to ourselves. Right? And we're going to watch. We are watchmen over our own selves, even though Yahweh have his ruach to guide us and lead us, and they have the malaks, to protect us. But at the same time, we have to do our part. My brothers and my sisters, my time is gone for this 20 minutes segment, and so we're going to stop here, and we are going to ask you to be a blessing to someone and walk with the King. Shalom.